this is how you make a spin-off show. The Penguin just dropped and is set in the same universe as Pattinson's Batman, and the amount of world building that this one episode gives us is insane. Collin Farrell as the Penguin, for whatever reason, just has this level of charisma that should be illegal, even to the point where the showrunners of the show gave the Penguin a Batman plot point to make him work better as a character. You know what? I'm gonna make a bold statement right now. After finishing episode 1, if this show continues going down this direction, this could be the greatest comic book TV show ever created. And technically I know manga means comic book in Japanese, so that would basically mean I'm saying it's gonna be better than Attack on Titan, but nothing's gonna be better than Attack on Titan, so... The best live action comic book TV show ever created. But before we can get into all of that, let's catch you up on the Penguin. Spoilers for the Batman, but I mean, you're watching the Penguin. The Penguin takes place after the events of the Batman. Falcone is dead, and there's a power vacuum in Gotham that Falcone's son picks up, Alberto. A whole section of Gotham is underwater because of the Riddler, and it shows the effects that it's having on the citizens of Gotham. And as the show continues, I think they'll be going into a lot more depth with that. Penguin, after being mocked, shoots Alberto dead, but now he has to find a way to cover his tracks. And this is where the Penguin's brains and charisma start to come into play. Because while he's trying to cover his tracks, he meets Victor Aguilar, who's trying to steal parts from the Penguin's Maserati. Now, instead of killing Victor, the Penguin instead enlists him to help him in covering up the murder. So in episode 1, we meet the rest of the Falcone family and get an introduction to how the crime underworld of Gotham works. So Alberto's sister, Sophia Falcone, has now just been let out of Arkham and knows that something is up. And this is a character we're going to break down fully later on in this episode. Because, yo, there's just so much to talk about with this one. So the entirety of episode 1 is all about how the Penguin's going to get himself out of this mess that he puts him in, and his ambitions to overthrow the Falcone family. Welcome to another episode of Kaylex Encounter, and if you've been here before, no Kaylex. Now, I know you guys noticed this Batman Easter egg. Man, I found this so genius, but giving the Penguin his own Robin, giving him one of the Robin's storylines on how he met Batman, I don't know, I just feel like that is like just in line with this universe. So as of recording this video, the Penguin is sitting at an 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. As I was watching this show, I just couldn't stop grinning. Collin Farrell is so good at this role.
You're gonna do everything I say, or else I'll murder you and anyone you care about.
There was a moment where when we got the news that we were getting a Penguin TV show, I was like, we do not need a Penguin TV show, just give me the Batman Part 2. Then we also got news that we were gonna get an Arkham series. Listen, I know that they said they're not gonna continue with the Arkham series, but after seeing episode 1 of the Penguin, I am interested in the Arkham series. You can continue doing what you're doing as long as you keep that The Batman aesthetic. And that's what this show does. When we start off with this episode, it drags us right back into the world of Gotham to the point where I'm like, did Greg Fraser DP this? It brings us right back to a very familiar aesthetic. And in our latest live stream, I actually compared the two. We go to Falcone's office and you can see that iconic halo. And that helps us tie the world of the Penguin and the Batman together. Things don't start to change until it starts to become daylight. And that's also partially where I feel like some of the flaws start to take place. So my only flaw was that this show went crazy on the use of volumes. Like, it's very obvious that certain shots don't look real, but this also leans into why I'm always saying I think the story and the acting is some of the most important things rather than just visuals. The way that they wrote this, I don't know what the heck they're doing over there, but the dialogue scenes alone, they're engaging. I'm like, I care. When Sophia and the Penguin go out to lunch, that scene is so scary. It almost feels like that one scene from Inglourious Bastards where he throws up the wrong 3. The reason why there's so much tension there is because we know the Penguin is lying, and we know Sophia has an idea that the Penguin is lying. So now we're just watching this verbal jujitsu to see how the Penguin is going to get himself out of this situation. And it's very clear that Sophia sees the Penguin for how we view the Penguin. That's another thing that was really cool about this show. As Batman fans, we know the Penguin. We know what he ends up becoming. So the fact that Alberto laughed at the Penguin when he shared his ambitions, it was kind of like, nah, the Penguin's gonna end up winning in the end. And the show does such a good job with having us follow him and giving us this motivation. Giving the Penguin a Robin is a perfect way to show why the Penguin is who he is and how Gotham henchmen work. Because one thing we're always wondering is, why does Gotham villains have henchmen? This show does a really good job of showing how that happens. The Penguin has charisma. At the end of the day, the Penguin is getting people paid. And Gotham is an absolute dumpster fire. So it makes sense that the Penguin is going to be able to mentor some kid to eventually become a Gotham kingpin. He tells this kid, you don't have any imagination, like as a criminal. And they go so deep into the Penguin's psyche to the point where it's like, we meet the Penguin's mom and we're like, okay, this is a regular story of a mom losing her memory. And it's like, oh no, the mom is just as crazy as the Penguin, bruh. Like, I am just so interested in the rest of this show. And I got a homie that keeps on telling me I have to watch The Sopranos. Till this day, I have not watched The Sopranos. All I've seen from The Sopranos is memes. And after watching this, yes, I'm going to get around to The Sopranos. I know you guys are gonna tell me I need to watch The Sopranos, but look, every single Sunday after the episodes of The Penguin air, we're gonna be live streaming on this channel, so click the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you know when we're live, and I'll see you in the next encounter.